Who's that?
That's Steve Lee. Hi,
Oh,
Steve. Good to see you.
His wife got COVID.
Yeah.
Here. There we go.
But it was a smart idea. Even if he's feeling well, it's just not a good idea to bring that down.
Spreading.
If you go, so I noticed that this is sort of off the screen, so it makes it hard for us to see anyone else.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do something about that. Now that everything's working just perfectly, I'll screw it up. Was that Yiddish?
Yeah.
Don't fix what's broken.
Why is this night different from any other night? They say it. So
Why?
that's just because we eat unleavened bread. Why do we eat unleavened bread? You've never been to a Seder.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Linda, next year he's going to Seder with his wife and daughter. Yeah. He's never been to a Seder.
I've seen many, but I've never been to one.
Oh.
I think we would very much enjoy that. Let's see. All right, so display resolution might be smaller. Let's try that one. So it should change. Nope. Let's go back.
Got something.
Don't worry, it'll recover. That's it. 1925. That's still too. It's only confusing because here, let me show you something we can do. We can move this one to that side, and now when we go off the screen here, it'll go up to the left. Hopefully.
And I would never wear a free hide.
No, it makes you feel like.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I see. Apply. There we go. So now I can go left and it'll be on that screen. As a matter of fact.
Haven't had that.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah.
It's not polite to.
Yeah, I drink my. Yeah, you don't.
Hey, city bill in New York, you did just card or the cash?
Cash. I,
Draws there.
no, I bring that. Here and there, well, 150 a day, 4 days. And I've gone lower now because so much is paid for already that you let lunch day. But if I go to a bookstore, I also, this is all, off well, now Monica is she runs the clothing.
So we're gonna start.
And the Hammond, he had the Scotland Yard, and he had the new bow tie I bought, flimsy material, and very killing, phrase, killing. He had a better bow tie, and I'd like to buy one.
Everything takes its time, but 10 o'clock, So we're 15 minutes behind.
How dare you?
I wanna keep the people online at least somewhat happy.
luck.
You all have your agendas. Calls for formal meeting commencing at 7:45. So, hosts, Adriana, you ready? I'll get out of your way.
As Holmes and Watson chase goose through the streets of London, the Christmas goose languishes in Mrs. Oakshot's yard. What questions ran through the poor goose's mind when he swallowed that bonny blue gem? First, of course, what object just entered my digestive tract? Couldn't James Ryder have just buried this behind the shed? It's rather uncomfortable to have a gem shoved down one's throat, you know. Second, does my social standing among my peers improve now that I shelter the Countess of Morcar's blue carbuncle in my crop? I bet that other black-tailed goose must be jealous. Wait a minute, can I be charged as an accessory to James Ryder's crime? I had no knowledge of or motive to commit the crime, and to my knowledge, Scotland Yard does not prosecute poultry, but I may be wrong. Well, anyway, here's Mrs. Oakshot to take me to the market, so I guess that's all for today. Let's raise our glasses to toast the bird that made the adventure of the blue carbuncle ever so interesting. To the Christmas goose.
To the Christmas goes. Thank you.
Well, last,
You wanna check in and see if the online people can.
Can you hear us okay, Steve?
Yeah, he's not,
Alright,
okay.
Okay.
excellent, okay.
Yeah, we can hear
Next
you.
is Bo Meskin.
Good evening, everyone.
Get him again.
I'm not going to do a typical Iraqi host tonight. Looking around the room, I see people that we haven't seen in a long time. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing some people who are almost always here. So what I would like to say tonight is, here's to our friends, both near and so far. May the good Lord be with them wherever they are.
Here. Now, I want to, as the. Chief Stewart, I made an executive decision, we're going to start a new tradition. On our meeting, the Blue Carbuncle dinner, and it's the reading of the monologue in Baker Street, written by Belief and Sincere. And I'll ask Rudy to read it, and you'll understand why it should be a tradition.
Monologue in Baker Street. It was Christmas Eve at 221 Baker Street. Outside, the snow was piling up in the streets, but inside the famous living, all was warmth and comfort. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson had been silent together for some time. Suddenly, the detective spoke. Yes, indeed, time never runs so slowly as when one is winding a clock. How true that is, murmured the doctor, without realizing that his companion had intruded upon his inmost thoughts. Then an expression of bewilderment crossed his face. My dear Holmes, he cried, how in the world did you know what I was thinking? Elementary, my dear fellow. You have in front of you a highly polished teapot, in which the elongated reflection of your face suggests the portrait of a horse. Obviously, you thought so yourself a few moments ago, for an expression of displeasure across your features, and you turned your head away. Still, for a moment, when you were thinking of a horse, naturally this led you to think of Lady Godiva. You visualized her in Coventry on that historic occasion, and thought how fortunate it was that she was not abroad on such a day as this. You glanced out the window and shivered. The whirling snow suggested the Christmas pantomime we saw the other day. For your face broke into an amused smile. You raised your arms slightly and flapped in simulation of the Christmas fairies flying about the stage on wires. Wires suggested the telegram, of course, and you remembered that we had not yet received our customary Christmas wire from my brother Mycroft, which in turn reminded you of Mycroft's increasing girth. You looked down at your own waistline and decided that you had better lose a pound or two. At this point, food was on your mind. You began to think of tomorrow's turkey and sniffed as if you already smelled that savory bird. The turkey naturally reminded you of Mr. Henry Baker's Christmas goose in our adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. And you remember how it laid a bonny little egg after it was dead, the Countess of Morca's Blue Carbuncle, which in turn reminded you of the charming little blue stone earrings we purchased for Mrs. Hudson. And this repeated suggestion of Christmas ultimately made you realize the imminence of the holiday. You looked at the clock and saw it was still 20 minutes to midnight. You started to say Merry Christmas, Holmes, but checked yourself and said something banal instead, but kept your eye on the clock. And I saw that you were impatient to greet me at the stroke of 12. It was impossible that you could have reached this frame of mind without thinking how slowly time appears to run when one is waiting for something. And at that juncture, I ventured to break in on your thoughts and agree with you. Tell me now, have I followed the sequence of images presented to you? You have indeed, said the doctor. You are uncanny, Holmes. A few centuries ago, you would certainly have been burned as a wizard. Perhaps I was, said the great detective, idly. Who knows? But let us hope that the turkey is not burned tomorrow. I see that it is exactly midnight. A Merry Christmas to you, my dear Watson.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rudy, very, very much, and plan on doing it for another 20, 30 years. I don't know, hopefully I'll still be, not chief steward, but I'll still be here. Next, Janice Winter's been kind enough to give us a few words of discussion about.
I wouldn't say discussion, this is my.
No, not discussion.
To be cynical, one can assume Doyle was a story and complied. After all, Beacon's Christmas Annual launched to promote the lucrative character. As to a blue carbuncle, there aren't. Carbuncles are usually a cabochon cut garnet. I'm wearing one. But let's let the magic of the season make carbuncles blue and Holmes and Watson live forever in our imaginations. A simple sleight of mind trick. Thank you.
Excuse me for 1 second. Up.
Perfect. I'll help you.
Next on our list. Like, we're kind enough to have Sir Hugo Baskerville with us tonight evening. Al Shaw has always enjoyed the Sherlockian stories. When his brother Mike started corresponding from Africa to using the Dancing Men's Cipher, he really changed, things really changed for him and his appreciation to them. Upon rereading all the stories, Al's interest in Holmes was codified. He joined Hugo's companions in 1971 and served as an officer of that organization until the 80s. Al is currently Sir Hugo, head of the Hounds of the Baskerville Estate. He was present at the first meeting and then a member of the Criterion Bar Association in 1972. He wrote his first Sherlockian article published in the Baker Street Miscellanea and became a member of the Hounds of the Baskerville in 1982. How it reflects that he's been privileged to be a friend of many Sherlockian giants. John Novinsky, John Bennett Shaw, Eli LeBeau, Fred Levin, Robert Bob Mangler, Paul Smedegard, Bill Goodrich, just to name a few. Now, Al and I had, when I first met Al, we found a common bond, and that was a group called the Rascals. Now, many of you don't know that's a rock and roll group. Now, they were the Rascals before they were the Young Rascals. And Al worked for the Rascals. I'm not mistaken, the roadie, right?
Actually, my cousin was their manager,
Okay.
and no one had heard of them. And he sold them to Sid Bernstein, and now you know.
My stepfather, the same law firm, was their lawyer. And my mother went to their first concert after they signed a contract with Atlantic Records. So I knew the Rascals from the legal side. He knew them from the other side. So that's how we bonded. Al continues to write, contributes to periodicals and anthologies. He's active in multiple science and Sherlockian activities. 2018, he received the investiture of Sir Hugo Baskerville in the Baker Street Irregulars. He has collections of Sherlockiana, tobacco pipes, fountain pen, and I'm sure tobacco. So I present Al Chung.
Well, I'll tell you guys,
Go further.
for my first trick then, I'm gonna make you all disappear. Let's take a potty break. Give me a moment to set up, give you guys a chance to relax, and we can move some seats over here where everybody can see. How's that?
Sounds good.
I didn't even rehearse that.
So if you want to move chairs, what a relief.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we'll have that.
Oh, good idea.
Turn your chairs around.
Great.
I
thought you looked familiar.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, tell me again. It's been forever.
It has been, it's been years.
Oh my gosh. So these are our daughters,
Okay.
McKenna and Kaylin. Ricky used to work with your dad about a million years ago.
I know.
And he was, wow, how are you? I'm well. Stephen, unfortunately, is sick. That's great. No, he actually had bronchitis, you know, and but he's just taking it easy.
Oh, I see.
I work really.
There's also more, empty chairs over there too, if people would like.
I'm gonna take the executive privilege and sit here. Hey, I'm down in the back row.
Salary, yeah, it's nice to have that. Have a lunch. Yeah, so, you know, he's still, you know, independent contractor, but yeah, he's working from home as well. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still sitting there going.
Well,
Sure, yeah. Oh, well, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that, but I have two daughters who are 23, so I must have changed. No. Oh, that's very kind. Thank you.
I'm gonna go over here because I'm gonna be up here.
Yes, thank you for saying.
Sure. Wanna do that? One on top and one on the bottom.
Yeah. And they have anything else to be from the van or the. Oh, man, I got.
Thank you very much.
The criterion bars. Criterion bar.
Hey, Richard, how you doing? Good to see you.
She wants it at, young Stanford. who introduced her. Yeah, but
Oh, great. I have looked. Yes.
I didn't know.
Last night. Yeah. Coming up here. Pretty good.
And you worked on that for hours. Yeah, he did.
I don't know how much your market is.
Al, how much more time? How much more of a break?
Minute 15.
How much you got time?
When she gets back.
I tried to get people to move, they didn't want to. I tried to get people to move, and I didn't want people to. Right, that's their problem. The thing, it's your problem, but I can't. See if I can make it. Excuse me, Bob.
Right. I said, yeah.
Yeah, we'll make do.
I guess I'm not leaving.
No, I guess you're stuck. I'm sorry.
I'm stuck.
I'm sorry. He wants it against the wall. We're not gonna make it against the wall.
Yes.
Sorry. That's okay.
Is anyone sitting here?
No.
Okay, then I'll just scoot it in.
Absolutely.
There's one. I'll grab another one over here.
Perfect.
Enjoy it. I think it's mine, so just grab it.
That'll work.
It won't go.
I'll do it.
Right.
That'll be fine.
Yeah. Me too.
You got it? You're not driving. Just go back. Sam.
Thanks, Ari. No problem. No. Thank you.
Thank you. Want me to put up right here?
That's the way.
I'm just checking the screen. I don't want to be in the way. Sorry. Are we hungry?
We lost video, it says. Let me look. Yeah, working on it right now. All right.
And no sweat. Carlina. Yeah.
Okay, we ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I had to write this down.
your name?
So here's a true story. She wasn't there. You know, Conan Doyle and Houdini actually met one time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a famous meeting for those who know about it. Conan Doyle believed Houdini actually dematerialized when he did his vanishes or he walked through a wall, and he believed he actually did real magic. Houdini told Conan Doyle that all his tricks were an illusion. And they actually had a falling out over that because Conan Doyle continued to believe. So I say, just for tonight, let's believe in magic.
Hey.
Now what you think it is, Paul? Don't buy a team. It's really. And the dessert appears.
Yeah.
So, quick, what's in the needle? That's a no needle.
You see, but you do not observe.
That's a needle. I've only done this once, don't worry about it.
Oh, wow.
I can use Carlina.
Yes. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your dinner. Tonight, I have a coloring book. And as a kid, you know, when we were all kids, we loved to color, right? But unfortunately, my coloring book has no pictures. So I'm gonna use a little magic from my mind to this book to draw some pictures in. So a little bit of the old So let's see if I was successful. I have created. But you'll notice that these pictures are not colored. So I am gonna ask y'all for some help. I am gonna ask y'all to assist me in coloring this book. Got the crayons right here. I'm gonna throw them out to y'all using a little bit of the higgledy-piggledy magic, as we call it downtown. Gonna blow it out. So y'all grab those colors, grab those crayons, and think about helping me color these pictures. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, throw them at me. Let's go. Woo! All right, thank you. Let's see if we were successful. Let's see. Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
That's Carlina.
Yay.
If I brought my stuff. I don't have. I don't know where the flower is. So instead, we're gonna do. No, we're gonna do a rope trick. Right?
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
See, I'm gonna teach you how to tie a square knot.
Okay, like this picture.
Yeah, so right over left, left over right. That's a square knot.
That's not a square knot. This is a square knot.
But that's okay. We're gonna do a rope trick.
You want to take the square knot first?
No, stick it right in there. Put all the other squares. So, you know those Indian fakers? How about that, huh? Yeah, sure.
They make those for that.
Yeah, I do. Okay, let's do a rope trick. So we have a small piece of rope. We have a large piece of rope and a medium piece of rope. Now, the thing about this trick is you want to try and keep the ends all even. There you go. Bring up this guy right here. Bring up this guy right here, and we'll separate them into two different piles. And if you stretch, it sort of looks like the ropes are stretching. And then you have three pieces of rope the same size, because we have 1, 2, 3 pieces of rope. You know what that means? Max is up. Come on, Max.
As soon as they say get the rope.
Nice knowing you.
Thank you. I have nothing as clever as these classy folks. One more round of applause for them. But I do have one of the greatest books ever written in my possession. And I am going to need a volunteer, someone preferably who's familiar with the work of Arthur Conan Doyle. Anyone in this room? Maybe read it? Anyone at all? Preferably someone who is not a magician, someone who is a reader. Anyone? I do need a volunteer. This is going to be a short demonstration. Please come on up.
Rudy.
Maureen is volunteer.
Maureen.
Hello. Maureen, my name is Max McGee. I'm from Madison, Wisconsin. Nice to meet you. So would you please examine this book and tell me if you've ever seen something like it before?
Yes,
And what does it look like to you?
looks like a story from Arthur Conan Doyle. It's a novel.
Anything suspicious about it to you? That's, please, take as long as you like.
Said the fact.
I will tell you a secret. It's the Hunt of the Baskervilles book.
Yeah. No, I mean, the contents appear to be what I recall.
Okay, all right, great.
I like the cover.
Yes, yes. So this is an ordinary copy of the Hunt of the Baskervilles. And what I am going to try to do tonight is something that I don't think anyone has ever attempted. I'm going to try to call upon the spirit of Arthur Conan Doyle. Sir, apologies, Arthur Conan Doyle, and have us help us with this magic. So would you please pick a page in this book? Just pick a number 1 through 173. There are 173 pages.
Okay,
And go ahead and tell us all what page. You don't have to look at it yet.
oh,
Just at any page you like. You can look, you don't have to.
okay. You want me to tell
Yes,
you?
please.
54.
54. All right. What I am going to do is take an envelope that I have sealed before we came here. Blank envelope. And I'm hoping that we will get some correspondence. So I'm going to transfix it.
Okay,
Okay, and you said on page 54.
correct.
Would you open to that page? And take a look at the first line of text, and don't show me, don't show the
Okay,
knife. Look on that first line and look for a large word, a word that will sort of stick in your mind, something about 6, 7, 8, anywhere in there, characters long,
okay,
something long, okay? And what I'd like us all to do is, and leave your eyes open because I don't want you to think there's any trickery here, but I want you to call upon the spirit. You know, Arthur Conan Doyle was a famous spiritualist. He believed that there was an afterlife and that we could communicate with the spirits beyond the grave. I personally don't subscribe to that, but I might have my mind changed tonight. And so remember that word, and
okay,
I'd like you and everyone in this room call upon Conan Doyle himself to write that word on the piece of paper inside that envelope that is sealed before we got there. So concentrate on that word. Everyone here, concentrate on your favorite Conan Doyle story, your favorite aspect of Conan Doyle's life. If you have a mustache, stroke it magnificently. Maybe join the Conan Doyle Society. But what I'd like you to do. Yeah, I feel his presence. You take this envelope and open that. Tell me. Do you mind reading out, actually, before we do that, would you mind reading out what word was there on that first line of text?
precisely.
Precisely. Okay, well. Seems familiar, but. I hope we got this right, Sir Conan.
Momentarily,
Momentarily, oh. Sir Arthur, you failed us. I'm gonna give him one more shot.
okay,
I have another envelope,
okay,
another blank piece of paper. Notice, it is in Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's hand.
Very valuable.
Would you try, do you wanna try it the same page or a different, he already knows this precisely. Let's try it on a different page. Let's see if
Okay.
we can get this one.
okay, I'm there.
And what page?
78.
All right. I'm gonna leave this one here for it. I think maybe having it transfixed was a little much. But I'm gonna ask you, to think about that word, think long and hard. Let's see if we can do this, Sir Arthur. Please come down and write on this piece of paper the word that Maureen is thinking of. See if he's done it. Oh, what was the word?
Changing.
Changing. I know you can do it. He did it. Well done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'm not sure how he does these things. I've never figured it out, but his writing is very distinctive. And I could never replicate that, so. Glad that he's here with us tonight. I did notice, is this anyone's hat?
Your hand.
Is this anyone's hat? Because I noticed that someone left it up here in front of us. And I wondered if we could maybe figure out together whose hat it is. So this hat, of course, is not a bowler, it's not a coat hat, it is a top hat. So obviously this person is a fan of old styles. You know, usually you'd have your cap backwards, it'd be a baseball cap. So somebody who's maybe into Victorian literature, perhaps. One other thing I noticed, it smells gross. This person is a slob. They also may have lost their hair. And Bob, could you repeat a little louder what you said earlier today? Because I think this person may have an evil influence, some sort of demon ring. Because it's my hat. Thank you all. So Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah. Not talking to them.
This is yesterday.
Hey, have fun with those friends.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna need you to give me a hand, Margie. Give me a hand. Come on. Yeah, switch places with.
I'll trade them.
Yeah, Margie's my right hand man.
Oh, sorry.
So. Margie's mom was in this room probably before Margie, probably before you were born. So Margie's mom is Margaret Smedegaard. Yeah, so you need to help me do that. So I'm gonna show you something, right? Right, so I have a little piece of string here. I'd like you to give this to your mom and me.
Whoa.
And you have one small.
Right.
So I'll show you guys one more thing here. Now, I like to make a lot of my own tricks. I made this one out of a Pringles can. Have a hole in it, so I can place a line through it. And I think I'll do a little balloon trick. It's bigger. I'm gonna try it with potato chips in the balloon. Right.
It's like a brown sugar.
Oh no, let's take that away. Let's try. And put that. Whoa. Right through the balloon. Put Pringles on. I don't went through the balloon. However, for some real magic, let's bring up Ridgely Hunt, and I'll finish these potato chips over. Ridgely, come visit. No, sour cream.
Guys, did you hear the one about the fact that they had to dig up Beethoven and move his body? Did you all hear this one? So, no, stop me. Okay, so yeah, the two grave diggers, they're there, they're digging them up. They get down to the coffin, it's old, it's rotting wood, so it kind of breaks open, and he's in there, and he's got this stacked sheet music, and a gum eraser, what's left of him, is sitting there going. And the one grave digger says to the other, what the hell's going on? What is he doing? And the other one goes, no, it's Beethoven. He's composing. This is after thing. I just have to tell that joke. I just have to tell that joke because Carlina is here.
You got people of hard of hearing.
So, hey guys, so show of hands. Who wants to see a card trick? Well, those of you who have your hands up, you're like. Nobody wants to see a card trick. Right? I mean, card tricks and we're talking about your life insurance. These are the two best ways to clear a room. I sold insurance. So, as my wife would say, let's reframe the question. How many of you, show of hands, thinks it would be cool if you could make things that are imaginary real? Even if it's just for a minute, show of hands. Excellent. That to me is what magic is actually. That's what it's all about. It's making things that are imaginary real for just a minute. So let's have an experiment about that, shall we? So let's see. I need a lady with a purse. Anybody with a purse? Anybody got a purse? Big bag? Anybody got a purse? Oh, good. Next, okay, now I promise you I'm not gonna embarrass you or do anything. Yeah, so is that one of those like you carry everything in and don't do it, just kinda? That's exactly what I'm looking for. What I want you to do is I want you to take your purse. Your purse, part of your purse, and I want you to get out a deck of cards. No, you don't have a deck of cards. Okay, so what this is about is making something imaginary real for a minute. So what I want you to do is I want you to open up your purse. And I want you to get out an imaginary deck of cards. Box. I'll see them a million times. Deck of bicycle cards, backs, right? Box, the cards out. Thumb through, just thumb through, look at the backs. I want you to look at the backs. Really do it, see it. You can see the backs of the cards, right? Your mind's eye, you can really see them, right? Yes. Right, so you know that they're not marked. Okay, so the cool thing is that because this is imagination, you may not have a lot of dexterity with cards, but in your imagination, you're Nick the Greek. So what I want you to do is I want you to turn those cards over. I want you to come to the table in front of you, ribbon spread those cards out in front of you, face up. Right, it's a full deck of cards, shuffled, you can see them, clubs and spades and all of that stuff. It's a mixed deck, no jokers. Jokers are completely useless, just like politicians and forest fires. I want you to look at that deck of cards, right? Put your finger over them. I want you to stop, and I want you to push one of those cards forward. And that's your card. Say, I want you to look at that card. I want you to see which card it is. So it's a four of clubs. I really want you to see the four of clubs. It's a king of spades. I want you to really see the king of spades. I want you to get that, whatever it is, glue it in your mind. Got it? Okay. Found out that it's very useful to double indemnity down here when you're working with an audience who've been drinking. So turn and just whisper it to her. I won't listen. Tell her what card you got. So you both know what card it is. All right. So what I want you to do is turn the card face down and put it back into the deck. Push the deck back together. So there's one card face down in that deck. Put it back in the box. Here's what they're going to do now. Another great thing about imagination, you may not be able to hit the broadside of a barn, but you're going to throw that right here into this bag. You're sitting there in imagination, you are Michael Bloody Jordan. Okay, so when I say three, I want you to throw that deck of cards right here. 1, 2, 3. That's our magic moment. Blessings. What was your card? Your card. Two of clubs. Are the two of clubs? Yeah. Two of clubs. There's something if I was able to pull this off. Well, clubs. I was so close. I gotta get points for getting at least two of the right colors.
Yes.
Central problem, the problem really is that I suck. I mean, it's just, there's no getting around it. No, really, I mean, I stink. Do you know who's really good? You know who's really good? You know who the best magician is? Really the best magician. We all know. Huh?
Right.
No, not Blackstone, not Copperfield. The best magician is a guy we all know. It's a crazy grandfather, a crazy uncle. We all had them. The guy showed up at every holiday party, right? You know what I'm talking about? The guy would walk up to you, and he go, "My dear, you know, you have a coin behind your ear." I mean, seriously, that wall is the thing. That's the thing that we're all waiting for, is that wall. Of course, no, yeah, grandfather. That would be wall, don't you think? If you could do it a third time, that'd be cool. That would be wall. There's only one problem. The problem is that these things are just imaginary, right? We're making imaginary things real. They have no real lasting effect of any kind. Now we're just down to two. They just all just kind of melt away to nothing. It's all just a paper moon. And all gone. One more story. Do you guys like stories?
Yes, sure.
I know you've been waiting to hear this. I'd like to tell you a little story. It's by a guy named Eugene Berger, who was a Chicago legend when it comes to magic. I had it from one of Eugene's students, a guy named Ricardo Rosencrantz, who's a teacher. Actually, he's a doctor, and he teaches magic and medicine at Northwestern University. And the illustrations are by Max Maven, who's another legend that was left us about a year ago. Show of hands, how many people here are superstitious? See, you know, the people who say, no, I'm not superstitious, I think actually you're not superstitious right up until a point you break a mirror. Then everybody points out, well, yes, you're superstitious. The fact of the matter is, though, that I'm telling you a story about a fellow who is deeply superstitious, and I mean about everything. Cracks in the sidewalk, black cats walking under ladders, especially about the number 13. He had a real phobia about the number 13. One day he decides to have a nice fancy dinner for some of his lively and red-blooded friends at a fancy restaurant. And being the kind of guy that he is, as they walk from the bar to the table, he counts. It's got that gene. Down one side of the table, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Just never gonna do. 13 for dinner. This can't possibly stand. So he asks one of his friends, wouldn't mind leaving, his friend being as superstitious as he is only too happy to oblige. Off he goes. And now he counts again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 14. That's weird. He hadn't seen anybody else come in. Not to worry. He asks another one of his friends to leave. His friend, superstitious, is only too happy to oblige. So he counts again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 again. How is this possible? This can't possibly be. Is he trapped in some kind of a horrible cosmic joke? Well, he asks another of his friends to leave. Now, just to be entirely certain, he asks one more of his friends to leave. The story made all of the papers the next day. They couldn't even unlock the door of the restaurant. They had to call the fire department to break down the door. And there they found them, all seated around the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Corpses, all blackened in death. Food poisoning. Bon appetit.
Only with the black horse. But you come back for your drink or it's gonna be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and it farts. I don't know where I put it, but there it is. Let's do this. Yeah, come on over, you go out. Yeah, stand over there. You could be my left-hand man. Pringles.
Every trick is pretty.
That wasn't part. Oh. Okay, so found this bottle of Coke. They were on sale for 49 cents.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah, I know, right? So there was no way I was gonna get it because they were going fast. They were going so fast. Now, you know, if I cover it up like this, when I do anything tricky or fancy or hokey, you're gonna know it, right? So let's take this, let's just put that over there. And 1, 2, 3. That was a good. What I'd like to do is have her do one more trick.
Something out of your face.
Oh, yeah, we could have brought the old case.
I like that.
Out of the old case. Yeah, we did.
The older cases are the best.
Look, hey, who was eating French fries?
It wasn't me. Like some brown ones, like, oh.
Oh, now everybody knows. Got a little flower pot for you.
Okay.
Emphasis on the flower.
The
Here you go. You're on, kid.
Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I have a wand and I have a flower pot.
My age, I can't let them go on too long. So how much time we got?
You,
Let's do one more.
I watched it.
Let's do one more.
I'm not gonna stop him.
Huh? I'm gonna need a volunteer. Claudine.
Yeah.
Come help me out here.
Lucky.
Yeah, go stand with the girl over there.
He's already forgotten my name. That's magic right there.
It's gonna be a great ride home, right?
Yeah.
Who's driving?
Gonna be bad.
Yes.
So I have these screens here. They call them tempo screens, silver on one side, red on the other. And when you fold them into a triangle, you place them on the magic table. What's this? What's this? What's this? This. This. This, this.
That's why there's no TV in the back.
Have some of that, have one of those, but there's there's more. There's more, there's more, there's more, there's more. However you said up your sleeve, right? You said sleeve? Yeah, no.
Uh-oh.
This is your thing, right, Carlina?
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody in there? Well, there's more of these guys.
You clean up after it's done?
Here, have some.
A little early for Halloween, you're about decorating myself. We could shoot, we can put on the top and or
This guy,
or this little angel.
no, he looks familiar, huh? We got more guys in here? Who else is in here? Okay, watch her face.
Is there a real one in you too?
Really? No. How?
Oh.
Look familiar? We have more potato.
It's a menagerie.
There's one more guy in there.
No.
That's for you, Claudine.
How are they? Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
The bank is to get that all up.
I want to thank you for your wonderful presentation. This is a gift from Forrest.
Oh, thank you.
Open it. 2024 Sherlock Holmes calendar with something different every single day.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Agenda, there's something,
What else you got, boss?
I got more,
Wait, there's more.
it's more, I don't have my agenda.
I think, Bo has an announcement.
No.
Here, Jen.
Other announcements of other items.
Yes, I think people have come from far and near. I'd like them to introduce, we've met Max, who came all the way from Madison, Wisconsin. Hello.
I will be really quick and I will just say,
I know Max, not. gonna-
I will go to canarytrainers.com to view a schedule of our upcoming meetings. You are all invited. We also can host a video conference version of this. So if you'd like to attend a Science Society meeting virtually, you are all invited. It happens the third Sunday of each month, we discuss a different Conan Doyle story from the canon. We just did the Greek interpreter, so I don't remember which is next, but
Some of us drove from Chicago at the last meeting.
Yeah.
Al
And-
Sharpman,
and we are out of beer and cheese now because they ate it all. I apologize. We're making more as fast as we can. But please attend online or in person.
Linda and I and Bob went up to the last meeting. It was very, very wonderful. We even found the library. Came from St. Louis.
Yeah,
Ed Weiss.
Ed Weiss. I'm with the parallel case of St. Louis. And we meet every month, some on Zoom, some on live, parallelogram. I think it's stl.com. You're more than welcome. We've had a big conference there. And I think Rob Nunn from St. Louis is coming up there next time to speak.
Yes.
So
Anybody else from a Scion outside of Chicago? Well, I know people are visiting us from outside of Chicago. I want to welcome you all. And Bo was kind enough to give out as a prize, whatever, an extra, his monograph. And if you can make Christmas pudding, you're expected to bring it next year. But I think at this point, we'll end with Mr. Bo reciting 221B. So if everyone will please rise.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't get one of these yet, it's a little thing I did, some observations on the traditions of Christmas in the Holmes Queen Victoria era with my ancient family recipe for proper English Christmas pudding.
Excellent.
Thank you, Paul.
Unfortunately, if you know what's in it, you'll never enjoy it. Anyway, it's good for keeping out the mice. So here we go. Sonnet 221B, which is its proper name. Here dwell together still two men of note who never lived and so can never die. How very near they seem, yet how remote that age before the world went all awry. But still the game's afoot for those with ears attuned to catch the distant view halloo. England is England yet for all our fears. Only those things the heart believes are true. The yellow fog swirls past the window pane as night descends upon this fabled street. A lonely hansom splashes through the rain. The ghostly gas lamps fail at 20 feet. Here, though the world explode, these to survive. And it is always
1895.
Thank you all for attending. If anyone is interested in joining Taurus Society, it's only $30 and you get a pin. Please return your name tags.
Please return your name.
Thank you, John. Yeah.
I pay her off every.
I'm gonna pull the plug on this.
Oh, yes.